I remember when this game was loud. I remember Skype calls that lasted until 4 a.m. I remember server wars and the panic of being side to side with creepers and the rush of finding diamonds with friends screaming in my ear. The world felt infinite because time felt infinite. But I'm 30 now. The Skype call ended years ago. The server is offline. And I have work in the morning. There's a specific kind of heaviness that comes with playing Minecraft as an adult. It's the friction between the nostalgia of who you used to be and the exhaustion of who you are now. When I place a block today, I'm not building an empire. I'm just trying to build a quiet place where for 20 minutes, nothing is asked of me. So, let's walk for a bit. Let's talk about the quiet. At first, the quiet feels wrong. If you played this game 10, 15 years ago, your brain is wired to expect the noise. And I don't mean the game sounds, I mean the people. I remember the specific texture of the audio back then, the low bitrate hum of a Skype call, the crackle of a cheap headset microphone, the chaotic, overcompressed laughter of 4 friends screaming because someone fell in lava. It was a wall of sound. It was messy and loud and perfect. We didn't play to be efficient. We didn't play to create content. We played to be together. The game was just a hallway we hung out in. You could feel the presence of other people in the server latency, in the chat logs scrolling too fast to read, in the half-finished houses scattering the horizon. When you load into a single-player world at 30, that silence is violent. It's not peaceful yet. It's just empty. And God, I miss the freedom. I don't just miss the friends, I miss who we were when we were with them. Take a second to fathom the possibility of a night that belongs entirely to you. Imagine if the concept of tomorrow morning just didn't exist. Imagine a Tuesday night where the clock on the wall doesn't matter, where there is no mental checklist running in the background and the real world feels miles away. We had this infinite energy. We could stay up until 3 a.m. mining for diamonds, fueled by bad soda and the sheer refusal to sleep, and wake up the next day fine. We were immortal. The biggest problem we had was a creeper blowing up a wall. That was it. That was the tragedy of the day. I look at that version of myself and I feel a desperate kind of jealousy. I miss how light it felt. I miss the sensation of having hours to waste and not feeling guilty about wasting them. But the drift happens slowly. That's the cruel part. It wasn't a dramatic fight. No one blew up the server and stormed off. It was just entropy. Life happened. One of us got a serious job. One of us moved with a partner. One of us sold their PC. The online status went from always to sometimes to last seen 3 years ago. Now when I walk through a village, I catch myself looking for name tags above the villagers. I'm looking for movement that isn't AI, but it's just me. I'm walking through a museum of my own memories, ghost hunting in a seed that has never been touched by another player. I place a torch on a wall, and the realization hits me. I'm the only person who will ever see this light. And I would give anything, to hear that cheap microphone crackle just one more time. And then you try to play. You actually sit down, you load the world, and you try to capture that feeling again. But there's a noise in your head that wasn't there when you were 15. When I was a kid, I could dissolve into the screen. The chair, the room, the time of day, it all just melted away. I could blink and 8 hours would vanish. And I wouldn't feel bad about it. I felt accomplished. I had a diamond armor set. I had a castle. I had status. Now the immersion is fragile. It's constantly being broken. I place a block and my phone lights up. I mine a vein of coal and I remember an email I didn't reply to. I look at the horizon in the game, but my brain is looking at the pile of laundry that's sitting right there, just out of frame. The real world has become invasive. It claws at the back of your neck. It whispers that you are too old to be doing this, that you're pretending. We have been trained to worship productivity. Somewhere along the line, we learned that time is a currency, and we are terrified of spending it on something that doesn't count. I look at the clock and I calculate. I'm back home by 6:30, cook dinner, do the dishes, the laundry, then sweep the floors. That leaves about 20 minutes of gameplay until 10. Then comes the nighttime ritual before bed at 10:30, which means I'll be tired for the meeting tomorrow. We audit our own joy. We treat relaxation like a stolen object. And that anxiety, that low-level hum in your chest, that is the death of nostalgia. Because you can't be nostalgic when you're stressed. You can't be a child again when you're worried about the car payment. So you play, but you play with one eye on the clock. You play with a tight chest. You're mining for diamonds, but you feel like you should be mining for something real. It makes the game feel heavy. Sometimes I load in, stand in my house for 5 minutes, and then just log out. Not because I'm bored, but because the effort of pushing the real world away is just too much. We are so incredibly tired. We have traded our infinite time for responsibility. And it was a trade we had to make. But God, was it a bad deal? I miss the ability to waste time. I miss the luxury of boredom. I miss the feeling that the world would wait for me while I built a tower to the sky limit. Now, the world doesn't wait, and the tower stays unfinished. But then the moon starts to set. The square sun rises, and the music starts. You know the track. It swells up slowly, almost like it's shy. And for the first time in the day, your shoulders drop. I'm realizing that I don't come back to this game to control it. I come back because this world is the only place that doesn't ask anything of me. The real world is demanding. It wants your energy, your time, your money, your attention. It is loud in a bad way, and it is relentless. But here, the trees don't care if you have a job. The ocean doesn't care if you're behind on your bills. The sheep in the field don't care if you feel like a failure today. They're just there. This game, in its silence, is incredibly gentle. It's a quiet friend sitting in the room with you, happy just to keep you company while you figure things out. And slowly, the guilt starts to fade. It gets replaced by something softer. When we were young, we wanted to build empires. We wanted to flatten mountains and build cities that touched the sky. We wanted to be gods. But now there's so much beauty in just tending to a garden. There's a profound peace in planting a row of wheat, waiting for it to grow and harvesting it, not because you need the bread, but because the rhythm feels good. It feels simple. I find myself building small houses now. A fireplace, a rug, a window looking out at the rain. I'm not trying to impress a server anymore. I'm just building a place where I feel safe. I'm building a cradle for my own tired brain. If you're walking through your own empty world right now, feeling the weight of everything you're doing and everything you aren't doing, let it go, just for a moment. You're not wasting time. You are healing. We spend our whole lives running. We run toward careers, toward stability. We run away from our past. It's okay to stop running for 20 minutes. It's okay to just sit on a block, watch the sun go down, and breathe. The emails, the laundry, they're still gonna be there tomorrow. But right now, it's just us. And it's quiet. And that is enough. I said earlier that when I place a torch, I'm the only one who sees the light. But that's not entirely true, is it? Because you're here. Think about how much life has happened to us since we first logged in. We've moved into empty apartments and packed up full ones. We've started careers we hated and left jobs we loved. We've had our hearts broken, mended, and broken again. The real world shifts under our feet constantly. But this place, this is the anchor. The grass is the same shade of green. The stone breaks with the same sound. The music still swells in exactly the same key. No matter how complicated our lives get, we all seem to drift back to this same blocky shoreline. It is the one thing that stayed still while we grew up. And there is a strange comfort in knowing that right now, all over the world, there are thousands of us returning to this same anchor. We are all playing alone, but we are doing it together. So I want to try something. Because this wasn't really about my world, was it? It was about yours. I was just putting words to the silence we all feel. Think of this channel not as content, but as a shared campfire. A place where you can take off your heavy armor and rest for a minute. I want you to leave something here for safekeeping. I want to know about the noise you miss. Tell me what you're building right now to keep the quiet at bay. Tell me the name of the friend who has been offline for 7 years. Tell me about the world you lost on an old hard drive that you still think about. Tell me why you logged in today. whatever that memory is, however heavy it feels to carry it alone. Put it down. Share it in the comments. Let's build a monument to the things we miss. I'll be down there reading them. I'm going to keep walking for a while. I'm going to fix up this roof and maybe watch the sunrise one more time. You're welcome to stay as long as you like. Thanks for walking with me. I'll see you in the next one.